Alcazar is Hyundai's 7 and 6 seater play. It is essentially the big brother of the highly successful Creta. Of course, Shams and Siddharth have taken you through all the features of this car, but this video is focused on the tech inside the car. And truly, the Alcazar earns its commanding name because of the amount of tech Hyundai is packed in. Let's check it out. Hyundai is focused on safety a lot with the Alcazar, and it shows in the tech it has to offer. Hyundai is focused a lot on the safety features in the Alcazar. It is loaded with tech. For instance, you get blind spot detection cameras. You get a 360-degree view, which is shown up in the main infotainment display. You get parking sensors on the back, and if you are in the premium signature trim, you get parking sensors even on the front. There's also a reverse parking camera. You get airbags on both the front and the second row. Yes, it's really loaded with safety. It's a pretty secure car. It also gets ABS, ESC, tire pressure monitoring, adaptive cruise control and hill assist control. So Hyundai really rounds things up with safety tech. But the important thing is that the stuff that's there works pretty well, and that's not something gimmicky. While safety is important, but these cars are always about luxury, and the Alcazar is quite luxurious from the inside. For instance, you get a new virtual instrument cluster, which is really gorgeous to look at. It's really legible, and it comes with numerous themes, and it will show you details like tire pressure and also the usual stuff like the odometer and the speedometer. But on the left hand side, you get the same 10.25-inch infotainment screen which we have seen before on the Hyundai i20 and even the Creta. It's big, that's its main claim to fame, but even when you compare it to the screen on the i20 or the Creta, it feels a little better. It's a little smoother in terms of touch responsiveness, and at the same time it gets slightly better viewing angles. Overall, it's a pretty serviceable screen, but it's also paired with quite a swanky audio system. It gets a 8-speaker Bose audio system, and overall it does the job pretty well if you're going to listen to a lot of local Bollywood music. It's really mid-heavy, which cuts through the frequencies really well. But even if you listen to Western music like electronic music, rock or metal, then it'll do a pretty decent job. In typical Bose fashion, it's a pretty neutral and sterile sounding audio system, but it will do the job for most people, though may not satisfy audiophiles. The speakers particularly are a combination of 2 tweeters, 4 speakers on the front and middle row, and a central speaker on the front and a subwoofer at the back. So maybe things may not sound as pristine if you are in the last row, but that's usually uncomfortable by any metric, right? The Alcazar really checks all boxes. You get great safety features, you get great entertainment features, and you also get connected car features via Hyundai's Bluelink. Now, Bluelink is a smartphone app which works in tandem with the Bluelink stack inside the car. It also gets an Apple Watch app as well. So that means we can remotely unlock the car. We can geofence it if the car is driven by a chauffeur or a valet, so you can make sure that the car really doesn't go away or is not misused. And if you are in an accident or the car breaks down, there's also a remote SOS service. You can pre-heat or pre-cool the car, which is really relevant in this kind of furnace-like temperature that we find ourselves in. And overall, it's pretty cool. It works pretty decently. The impressive thing about the Alcazar is that Bluelink connectivity is standard across all trims. For instance, it does voice recognition pretty decently. You can say, "Hello Bluelink, I want to see the sky," and it will automatically open the panoramic sunroof, which is pretty glorious out here. And generally, it works pretty well with integrated features inside the car. But if you're just looking for great natural language processing, say if you want to make a phone call, then you are better off using Apple CarPlay or Android Auto and using either Siri or the Google Assistant. And talking about Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, yes, this car does feature these two features, though in a wired avatar. Maybe Hyundai could have added wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Unfortunately not, but still the wired way does the job pretty well, and it makes things pretty simplistic if you just want to do basic navigation, want to listen to the music via your favorite streaming services, or just have basic access to contacts and messages. Does the job pretty well. Apart from that, you get a very well integrated air purifier. Now this air purifier is well embedded in the infotainment system. It also works with Bluelink and can be summoned through voice commands. Most importantly, it doesn't take up the space of a cup holder, which we have seen before on Hyundai cars like the i20. Like the Creta, the Alcazar comes loaded. By now, we should be used to this. This is Hyundai's playbook. It did it with the Verna, Creta, Elantra, and more recently, even with the i20. So, for something that's positioned above the Creta, it was expected. And the good thing is, most of these features do work as advertised. However, for the future, what I will like is that Hyundai makes these features easier to use and bring an element of refinement to its tech.